Collider Media has been around for about 3.5 years, and we really got started focused on the mobile advertising industry and helping identify who the audiences were that were using and consuming mobile content. And as we've evolved, what we found is that understanding the value of the audience is something that isn't new to mobile. It's what has happened in email lists and direct mailing lists and linear TV and radio. Everybody knows who they want to reach. The question is, how do you do that the most efficiently and effectively and do it where it actually results in a lift in sales for an advertiser? And for a long time, that didn't exist in mobile. So what we've really been focused on is how do we bring that type of audience targeting into mobile in a way that is, one, useful, but two, that it also scales. Having an audience and saying, I want to be able to reach men between the ages of 40 and 50 years old that like sports, and only being able to reach 15 of them isn't a really compelling offer for an advertiser. But if you can say, listen, I can find people that have a certain household income and have kids in the family, and as a consumer packaged good company, I want to reach them, and being able to say, I can find 12 million of them across the United States, that becomes a really interesting value proposition for an advertiser. And our goal is to make that type of audience targeting very useful and commonplace and help publishers understand the value that their audiences actually bring to them as a content producer. Mobile is still very nascent. You know, it's funny to say something about an industry if it's going to be $3 to $5 billion in spend this year. But at the end of the day, what's really driving the mobile economics is app downloads, cost per install, really performance-driven advertisements. And even those that are brand typically end up having some type of a performance component to them. It's Hotels.com or it's eBay, which are well-known brands, but they're driving people to download their app and consume their content via the app. Where I think things are going to continue to accelerate is on reaching the right audience for brand consumption. As you know, more and more people are using their mobile devices to consume media, whether that's news, whether that's TV, whether that's other types of actual content. And as that shift continues to happen in a mobile, the opportunity for brand advertisers to really reach and engage with their consumers is going to only increase. Where I think that things are going to make a really interesting shift is once mobile is no longer considered to be a separate vertical. When people say, oh, I need to have a line item for PC and I need to have a line item for linear TV and I need to have a line item for my mobile spend, and it's a specific line item that says I'm spending this much money on mobile. When it all becomes a digital opportunity and people are able to say, I want to reach the right audience at the right time in the right format and be able to know if that's the effective way of reaching certain groups, that's when things are going to really accelerate for mobile, because it's not going to be a separate line item, but it's going to be a part of a fully integrated marketing plan. Collider Media is actually in a really fortunate position because our supply side platform really is designed for anybody that has content. So we work with linear TV folks, we work with PC, IPTV, and mobile. So one of the things that we have as a real advantage for our company is that we're able to see all the different formats that work across any type of medium. And where things are really starting to get interesting in mobile is as you start to make those mediums look and feel somewhat the same. So, you know, being able to support pre-roll video, being able to support ads that are interactive and are engaging and have some type of way of connecting with the consumer without it being overwhelming, where the pop-up ads or something like that annoy consumers. It's really thinking about how do you position yourself as a way of engaging when a consumer is looking to engage with a brand. And I think where things are starting to happen is especially some of the industry standards like MRAID being able to be out there, if it can tie back into some of the other attributes like VPaid and the online attributes, those type of engagement. I don't think that you need to reinvent the wheel. You just have to figure out how to take what's already working and modify it to fit a single screen device that a consumer usually is leaning forward on as opposed to leaning backwards. Mobile is unique in the fact that it's with you all the time and it moves around with you. So the location-based aspect of things is fascinating. Geofences, being able to tell you that you're only 2 miles away from the nearest local restaurant that is interesting to you. The next challenge on that is how do you make it relevant to you? So being able to say, hey, listen, here's a restaurant that you have absolutely no interest in, that's only 3 miles away. That ad, no matter how close you are to that restaurant, you'll never engage with it because it's not within your interest realm. But if you can say, okay, I know who the user is, and I know where they are, and I know what type of interest they're looking for, that's when that confluence of knowledge about a consumer between both where they are, who they are, what they're looking to do, how they typically respond to engaging with media, that's the opportunity of mobile, and that's where the excitement comes, because there's so much that you can do with mobile, and we really are just in the very beginning of the opportunity of mobile advertising.